Guys, what's up? Unsportsmanlike conduct, Gabb Bree here again to talk about sports with you guys. And it's getting a little closer to season. Things are getting a little more exciting.
Yep.
And my football team is so bad. So
Listen,
I think we're in a similar situation here.
Yeah,
where it's
I was
really
just about
not
to say.
Fun to watch. Do you really want to watch it?
I was just about to say you're not alone. Given the last preseason game, my team was playing against second string, third string guys, and couldn't do anything with the starters. So, I don't want to be doomsday about it, but it's a little concerning at this point. So I'm hoping within the next
it is preseason,
week,
it's just preseason.
That's true, and you can't really judge too much by preseason, but at the same time, you're a fool if you don't take a little bit from it.
Right, when it is your own starters, you got to look at it a little.
Yeah, a little bit. So I hope whatever the problem was gets situated between now and September 11th, week 1 for the New England Patriots, and going down to Miami. It's just a recipe for disaster, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe it was just a really, really off day and it just happened at a bad time.
Right. I mean, if we want to talk about Tua real quick, because you brought up Miami. So his first pass, Tyreek Hill. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is the best player on their football team. That's just completely obvious. He didn't look good, and everyone was hyping it up. He had no speed on the ball. Everything was underthrown. And he's going to throw a lot of interceptions.
So my thing is I saw a bunch of people, and maybe this is just because it's an interdivision thing, and my Dolphins fans are just sick of hearing about the Patriots, that I saw a bunch of Dolphins fans saying, oh, if this was Mac Jones, it would be all over SportsCenter. People would be gushing over it and whatever. And
I mean, it was everywhere. The clip was everywhere. So that, I don't know what they're saying.
So first of all, no. Second of all, I feel like the reason why people are a little bit more critical about Tua, that when he does stuff like this, it's because he's supposed to be doing stuff like this. This was what he was supposed to be like as a professional quarterback, and he has drastically underperformed since he came into the league. The expectations for him, and maybe this isn't fair, but the expectations for him were so high. I mean, every bad team that year, it was tank for Tua. Everybody. And
Tua-thon,
Yeah, and that's why I feel like we have him under a microscope more than I think most people, is because the way things are with him right now, it wasn't supposed to be like this. We weren't supposed to be sitting here and saying, oh, this is Tua's last chance. He either does it this year or the Dolphins kind of need to move on. That wasn't supposed to be. That wasn't supposed to be the thing.
Every other week he's in a trade talk. Every other week he's in a talk to be someone's backup.
You had that year, 2019, I believe it was. I don't even remember, the Fitzpatrick year, where he got benched and Fitz came in. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, God love him, he is about as great as a backup quarterback could be. But he looked in that season like he should have been the starter the whole time. That's not what people expected from Tua. And it's plain and simple. I mean, you can take this coming from me as being a hater Patriots fan and not liking the Dolphins, whatever. And that's 1,000% true. But as somebody who has been around the game of football my entire life, specifically the quarterback position,
he could be better.
He's not as advertised, and I truly feel like this is the year where it's boom or bust. This is the last straw, and yeah, a 51-yard pass is great, but you also have to take into account it was going to Tyreek Hill, and the reason why Tyreek Hill is who he is in this league is because he is fast as all hell, and he can get to a ball that you just throw up on a wing and a prayer. It could have just been a arm punt, throwaway ball. Tyreek can get there. So he's going to help Tua out a lot. And like you said, when we talked about A.J. Brown and Tua
It's
and
going to
like the
be
quarterback
Tyreek
situation,
Hill that carries him through this.
Tyreek is going to carry. So we'll see. But I don't want to hear people saying anything about Mac Jones versus Tua because it's two completely different ends of the spectrum here, where one was supposed to be this really, really good quarterback automatically coming in, and the other has a ceiling, according to some people. I agree. I think the ceiling is a little bit higher than most people think, but that's a conversation for them.
Right, and I just really don't understand the whole Dolphins fans saying this would be over on every platform because everywhere I looked. But yeah, that's whatever.
I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting year for the Dolphins because on paper they should be very good.
But it all comes down to the quarterback play, and the quarterback play is going to hold them back in a lot of situations. Yeah, but you can say that for many teams, but
yeah.
But the Dolphins should be better, but they're not going to be better.
No, I mean, I feel like we've talked about this every time we talk about the Dolphins. We always come back to the quarterback, and I can't remember. I think I said this like 2 weeks ago. Throughout the preseason, when it's really come down to like the competitive snaps and stuff, and actual scrimmage time, like 7-on-7s, 11s, and whatever. All those videos from like minicamp and stuff of Tua doing this, that was great. Doing that, that was great. They all kind of seem to disappear. And then this video of the 51-yard pass came to light. And like, I can understand why people are like, okay, yeah, whatever about it. Because my personal opinion is he underthrew it a little bit.
Well, he did on multiple throws in the highlight tape that they're putting everywhere.
But no, he's the most accurate according to his receiver and
you have
his
to
head
lie.
coach.
Again, you have to lie for your team. You have to do it. You can't just go out there and say, "Yeah, no, he's terrible," because that would make your life bad too. So
yeah, I don't know. Should we? Let's see. I feel like we've had a decent amount of stuff happen in the last week. Let's go to the other side of Florida real quick. Talking about another quarterback.
Okay, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, #1 player, voted by the players.
Voted by the players, which I think a lot of people are, again, forgetting about.
Right, like that says a lot. He's highly respected. He's been the best of the best almost all of his career. He's still playing. He's unretired. He just got off The Masked Singer, ready to play. They're obviously going to put him at #1.
I have my thoughts about his little break too, but I'll do the important stuff first, and then I'll get to that. So yeah, like you said, player voted list. That is like the most important part that people are forgetting is you have these guys that are going up against this guy week in, week out, watching him, and this continued success and the work ethic that he has. The guy last season, 44 years old, #1 in yards, #1 in touchdowns. Could he have won MVP? Absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
And
these people, like, they grew up watching him, though. That's the thing. Like, he was their idol, and now they're playing against him, and he's still beating them.
And he's still at such a ridiculously high level that this shouldn't be as shocking as everybody thinks it is. And when you think of the people that came below him, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Rodgers.
Sure, all valid answers.
Patrick Mahomes, whatever. I'll say everybody in the top 5. Everybody in the top 5 made a really, really strong case last year as to why they could have been the #1 on this list. The reason why I think Brady is the undisputed answer is because every year somebody has the take that this is going to be the year that the old man falls off the cliff. They try to do their best Max Kellerman and predict the downfall of Tom Brady. And it doesn't happen. It does not happen. And I saw somebody say, oh, well, he had Chris Godwin, he had Mike Evans, he had this guy, that guy.
Everybody has good players. That's the whole point of the
Aaron
NFL. Why
Rodgers
would you
had
not want
Devontae
them?
Adams. I don't know
That's my
what
least
you want
favorite
from me.
argument, you know?
The weapons thing, I've dealt with it on the really bad side from 2019 Patriots and
Right.
now trying to defend Brady with a really good offense around him. But anything in the top 5 for Brady, I would have completely been okay with. But number 1, I feel like, is not as crazy as, and it's mostly the people that don't really like Tom Brady that are saying this. So like, I understand that, but number 1 on this list, voted by the players, isn't as crazy as you guys are making it out to be. What is crazy is the way his face looks right now.
Is it really real quick, Josh Naylor just hit a home run? I love you. That's all I gotta say. But did he really get plastic surgery? Is this the reason why? What happened? Did he do like a Carrie Underwood? Hurt his face?
I don't know, because you look at the timeline of his face from his rookie year up until now. There's no denying that he's done some sort of work.
Right, sure. Like he's a
the jawline is fixed up.
Billionaire. Do whatever you want with it. Yeah.
He looks great up until now. That press conference the other day, his cheek bones and stuff,
Maybe
like it just
looked.
I don't know if it, like, I think it's more Botox than anything, and it's just like too much.
He probably some Botox here, cheek filler a little bit, maybe some under eye filler.
It looks scary.
I don't know. I haven't really seen the photo. I'll have to. Yeah, this is what I'll do. I will send it to one of the people on TikTok that do, like, the plastic surgery, what they think they got done. We'll send the photo in, and then they'll reassess it and say this is what Tom Brady has been doing with his dollars.
So I've actually seen a plastic surgeon do that before.
With Tom Brady?
He's gone through with Tom Brady, and he's gone through and he said that he has had a nose job, a jawline implant, Botox up all in the forehead, which obviously, I mean, I would get that too. And I need to probably start getting that soon because the fine lines are coming in at the ripe old age of 25. But
no, I understand that completely because I've had lines on my forehead my whole life. So
it's a little too much at this point for me. Like that press conference the other day where he said I'm 45, like there's a lot of shit going on and stuff. Like I get that. The kids just went back to school and you still have to be a dad after you retired and your family thought you were going to be around for a lot more. And then you said, oh, just kidding, going back. Like, I understand his wife's probably not all that happy with him. I get that part of it. I get the family life part of it. And you got shit going on and your kids are older and your wife's, I mean, she's probably really fucking annoyed at this point. It's been however many years of saying, oh, I'm almost done. And then you say you're done and then you're actually not.
Go back.
And then now with the face, I don't know. There was some tweet that compared him to handsome Squidward, and that was like,
I saw that. Okay, I saw that. Now that makes sense now. Okay. Well, he's just trying to prepare for his days when he's on TV all the time. You know what they say? They say to start Botox early. I mean, when they say to start Botox early, I'm pretty sure they mean before 45. But maybe he's just getting a head start into it, and I need to see a side by side. Then I'll determine.
Hold on. I will send you one. Let's see. Tom Brady. First thing when you type Tom Brady face, Tom Brady plastic surgery, Tom Brady divorce. So
oh my God, all valid, all very valid topics that probably all are happening.
There's somebody's comparing him to Kevin Bacon now. My God. Okay. I'll send you the tweet right now. And it's like his first league headshot and then his most recent one and then a photo from this press conference. And his face, it looks like you sliced off half of it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like, do you see?
Okay, no, I'm sorry, that was mean because it was like a jump scare. But he looks great in both
different.
Photos. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about either, but he looks really good. He looks really, really good in the other one.
Granted, that first photo, he was like 23 and he still had some baby fat. And, your face changes from your early 20s to your beginning of your 30s. Like you slim out a little bit, bone structure does whatever it needs to do. I had a fat face up until like 3 years
I've
ago.
had a fat face my whole life. Like I could weigh 100 pounds and I'd still have a fat face because it's just genetics. And I just,
Like,
oh my God.
and then, over the years, as he's gotten stuff done here and there, he got the hair plugs, he got like his teeth fixed up and everything, and he looks great. He's great.
Yeah,
I'm attracted to him. I've always thought he was hot.
has some cheek filler. He definitely has
Yeah.
Botox. And I think he got some face lipo because that's like the new thing now, and I would love to do that.
Is that why this right here looks the way that
Because
it
they take
does?
it's like you're not like they just numb your face and they take this little tiny like micro vacuum and they suck the fat out.
Yeah, the chin in that press conference
It looks
photo
like
just
there's some fat sucked out.
looks a little different. I don't know.
But he looks great in this one.
Oh yeah. Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah. Handsome guy. Always has been. But it's starting to get a little
So he left for face lipo.
maybe.
Okay, that's fine.
If it wasn't the
that's
Masked
fine,
Singer,
whatever.
it's cosmetic surgery.
I mean, whatever he wants to do, he can at this point. His league.
Whatever. Yeah.
So,
right. Exactly. I feel like he's at the point in his career where he doesn't need to explain anything to anybody.
we want to talk about one more player on the top 100 because, like, again, it's player voted. I don't really care where they are. I just think it's so criminal that they put Josh Allen at 13. That is so messed up.
It's
funny.
beautiful.
It's really funny, but he probably saw that and he said, "Gotta be kidding." Like he can't escape it.
Everything about it is just
the joke is always there.
It's great. The joke is always going to be there, even though like technically not really his fault, but like
still it's like
by association.
Funny.
On top of that, for me, it's hysterical that he's not in the top 10.
Oh yeah, that one was wild, but
that I didn't even put 2 and 2 together with the number 13 until I saw everybody saying, "Oh my God, like what a troll!" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, huh." I was just laughing at the fact that Bills fans were bitching about Mac Jones at freaking 85 when your quarterback isn't even in the top 10. Bitch about that. If you want to be mad at something, be mad about
they
that.
didn't know yet. They didn't know yet.
No, but no, they didn't know. But I feel like that there wasn't as much outrage as I saw more people say that Josh Allen's gonna like power through the league this year and make everybody regret putting him at 13.
Oh my God, come on.
Totally fair. I could totally see that happening.
Maybe he's gonna make people regret the 13 seconds, not the 13 fake poll. I don't know. Maybe that one.
My thing is, do you think the players actually care about this list at all?
No, I mean, I'm sure when they get paid to go talk about it. That's what
I'm sure there's some that are like, oh, like I should have been higher, and then they're gonna, make that their personality for the season. Like, definitely gonna be a handful of those guys. But in like the grand scheme of things, do the vast majority of the players actually care about this? Because I feel like
probably
the only
don't even
look
at it.
Yeah,
they probably don't even look at it. They don't even care. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny list though. The list is always funny.
Always good. There's always a good few that get a chuckle, especially when it's saw people. Oh my God, Packers fans are freaking out about Aaron Rodgers just because he's back-to-back MVP.
They need to freak out about the wide receivers if that's what they're going to freak out about. You need to worry about
their quarterback doing freaking psychedelics and
right.
Like there's so many other things that you need to concern yourself with about your football team other than where your quarterback ranks.
I agree. I agree with this comment. I think they do care and look at their Madden ratings. Yeah, that one, because people evaluate them and say, I don't know, most of the time they're kind of wrong, but a lot of people think they're better than what they are.
Yeah, and I think Madden ratings are more close to, like fantasy projections and stuff like that. I feel like if you're going to look at somebody's actual in-game stats and look at their Madden ratings, then if there's a big fall off, then you can make a case for that. But that's by people who track the stats and do all of that
Mm.
shit instead of the players that are just
Right,
like,
the
oh,
players that make a fake
this
list and
guy's my
put
boy. Like he's gonna be number
Trayvon
one.
Diggs in the top whatever. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the reason why Trayvon Diggs had some exceptions
Right, and
is
they
he just
don't
was
they don't look
like,
I
how
don't
many
know.
yards and touchdowns and shit did that guy give up? Like, come
I've
on, please.
realized I've realized talking to, like, a lot of when you, like, interact with players and you ask them about things, you realize that a lot of them don't really pay attention to that much that's going on outside of their
I don't blame them.
I don't either. Because you could say, like, someone is not very good and they would for example, let's just say it's Baker Mayfield. And let's say it's, like, 2 years ago and everyone on the team is like, "Oh my god, he's so good, he's better than all these people." But from, like, an outsider, you're like, "Not." Just wait a year, and then guess what? And then they go, "Oh, yeah, he's really not that good." So, yeah.
He's not. Which I feel like is the perfect segue into
Oh,
this week
gosh.
in Baker Mayfield
Keeping
news.
up with Baker Mayfield. That
All
needs to be
right,
a
so
show,
go
and I would
ahead.
watch with that. Okay, so
So I saw the quote. So like, give me the whole backstory because
there's a lot of layers to it, there's a lot of things. Um, I don't think what he said was bad. I mean, it's Baker Mayfield. He
okay,
said after the Bills game, he had a little interaction, reporter, and I don't think it was like it wasn't supposed to be a reported combo. They were just like talking as friends. He goes, "I can't wait for you to play this season, week 1. I can't wait to see you fuck them up." And he goes,
she said
"Yeah,
that.
yes." And he goes, "But that's not how it started. There's layers to it." So that's
Okay.
what actually happened. Then he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck them up." So then she takes that story, goes on a podcast. On the podcast goes, Baker Mayfield said he's gonna bleep them up. They wouldn't fuck them up on the show. Fuck them up. And then they were like, Baker Mayfield said that. She's like, yeah, about week 1. I probably shouldn't say that, but that's what he was telling me. He said he's going to fuck them up. And
Okay.
when you speak about Baker Mayfield, you speak about Baker Mayfield in any sense, anyway, talking about the Cleveland Browns, people are going to take that quote and they're going to run with it in every freaking direction possible.
Absolutely. But
But
also,
I think it was kind of disrespectful that that whole combo was like put out there. And again, I am not Baker Mayfield apologist in any means, but I think putting that combo out there was kind of like it kind of sucks for him.
yeah, that's like journalism 101. You learn that first day of class. If it's not something that you know is on record that you can use, you don't say
Right.
it.
And everyone's like, "Whoa, he said it." I don't you build trust with people and there's
Yeah.
just some things you just don't say. Some things you
But
just
also,
got to
I feel like that's just so shitty on her part. Is if you're just having like a friendly conversation with somebody, you shouldn't take that
right.
and what? I
Right.
mean, at the same time, media is the media and they're gonna do what they want to get
So, yeah.
the narrative out there. But yeah, that sucks. I don't really think that's fair to him. Now,
I don't think so either. And again, if that quote came out, I would have said, "Yeah, that sounds just like him." There's no doubt he would say that. It's just Baker Mayfield. She went on to go. There was like a Cleveland show. It's called the Ultimate Cleveland Show. She went on there today and retold the story, but told it in the version of, "Yeah, I initiated the conversation, and then I shouldn't have said it." Which again, never really feel bad for this man, but I do because that combo wasn't
yeah.
supposed to be put out there. And it puts
At the
him in
same
a
time,
awkward
though,
situation.
yeah, oh no, for sure. But at the same time, though, I feel like at this point he needs to know that
Everything
anything
he
he says
says,
about the
yes.
Browns is going to be taken and put out there one way or another. So
Right,
just
for
say,
sure. Maybe just
like,
don't say it. I know
just,
you were encouraged to say it, but just don't repeat it. Just say,
or
"Yeah, I'm excited for week 1." I don't
yeah,
know.
that's it. Perfect. That's all you have to say. You don't have to, or just laugh and like say,
Yeah.
nod your head or whatever. Especially with that, like the way she went into that, that's baiting. That's absolutely baiting for a quote and
Mhm.
to do exactly what they did.
Yeah, but I do think
Sucks.
that she was very naive about it. I don't think she thought anyone was going to really do anything with it. I mean, likes Baker Mayfield, wants him to do well, so probably just using it
Yeah,
as some like encouragement. But again, it's Baker Mayfield and everything with
right.
that guy is very crazy. It was just funny because you had Browns fans and Oklahoma fans on the same side.
Oh God! Wow, that's a
That's
first.
when you know. That's when you know it was not good.
Jesus.
But yeah. So Baker Mayfield said he was gonna fuck them up, and then Myles Garrett put a quote out about it today, and he said they'll be ready for Week 1. They're gonna use that as material.
Sure. Why not? I mean,
I don't know if it's gonna help you any. I don't know if
Do
it's gonna help you any, but like, sure, guys. I hope it does. Sure, hope it does.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. He's just
He did do well in his preseason game, I will say that.
So okay, so I didn't watch any of the Carolina Buffalo game strictly because if I wasn't a big anti-Buffalo Bills fan before, given the news of the last week, I absolutely am now.
It's just a mess. It's a mess.
So I'm like doing anything and everything I can to stay away from Buffalo. The team, the organization, not the city itself. I've never been. I'm sure it's a wonderful place. The food's probably very good, but just slimy.
Yeah, I feel really bad for the players on their team. I think it's very disrespectful to everybody that was involved in that organization that built what they have right now and everything that they had going for them to turn around and do that to the players on your team that you trust, you want to see succeed is really shitty.
Yep, it's very similar to our feelings about everybody else on the Browns.
Right.
They didn't ask to be in this position. That one now former teammate and the rest of the organization put them in. And I don't really want to get too much into this because it's
absolutely disgusting.
It's really gross and really fucked up. But what I will say is if you for a second think that the organization just found out about this stuff, then I have a beach house to sell you. What's that Frank Ocean line? A beach house in Idaho? Like, I will sell you that because you are just...
They 100% knew. Okay, I don't think they knew the full extent of what was going on, but they knew something was going on. So if you know something's going on, maybe you should look into that.
I agree. I think the details that came out were new to them, but I don't think the whole situation was new to them, especially because supposedly attorneys were talking to other attorneys and the victim was talking to the attorneys for the Bills and all of this. So even if they didn't know the gruesome details and stuff, you still knew that this guy had
some kind of
these accusations against him. That should be more than enough to do the right thing.
And I'm hoping this man never, ever sees a football field ever.
Never, ever.
So this goes kind of to what we were saying before, how we said if he was a different position. I mean, the situation's different, but again, like we said, the threshold for things that you can do in this nature is 0. Once you go past 0, you should not be playing.
Yeah.
Not be playing. Anyways, we were asking a question. If he played a different position, would he still be in the league? That one, answer that real quick.
Yeah, it's especially when you think about the fact that this kid, and again, not to, give him any praise or anything, but it's just the facts are the facts. He was the number 1 touted punter in this draft class. And there's a reason why he fell as far as he did. Teams passed up on him. And it was, at the time, surprising. Nobody really understood why. Now
we know.
More likely than not, this is the reason why. And I'm of the belief that the Bills did this to maintain a good image. I think
100%,
they did this because there was public backlash. I think if he was anybody other than a punter, it would have been a little bit of a different situation. For example,
or anyone that would have already seen the field with some playing time, like in an actual game, I think it would be a little different too.
Now, I still think that they let him on, a little bit longer of a leash because he was as good at his position
Mhm.
as he was, and he already had this stupid nickname and whatever. Um, and again, I don't think that they found out when they found out. I think they knew beforehand. They named him the starter, and then this happened. More information came out about this, and then they didn't release a statement on it
No, they
right
did a
away.
lot of video stuff, which, I was very upset in the video. That's a given. You find out these
Yeah,
gruesome details, you're gonna be very distraught and not want to talk, but you have to.
yeah.
Also, when they released him, weird
The
graphic.
photo.
Weird graphic.
You don't
Just
need to post a photo of the guy. Just say that you released him. That's
he's
it.
gone. Yeah,
That's all
just
we
say,
have to do here.
"He's gone, no longer on the team." I don't know what the photo was.
Like, we all know who this guy is. We don't need to see him in like a glamour shot. We can
Weird
do without
behavior.
that. It's great. Um,
Yeah, very weird behavior.
the
Yeah.
whole thing is just
Have you
so.
ever heard about, like, Steubenville High School's
I
case?
didn't, but I saw your tweet about it, and I did a little bit of research.
And it's giving so I went to high school very close by this high school.
Hmm.
My great uncle was the superintendent of the Steubenville district schools. They had a very similar situation where men took a woman to multiple parties while she was passed out, whatever. Football team knew about it, the school knew about it, everyone in town knew about it. They kept it really quiet. Um,
Yep.
Men went to prison. They went on to play college football after they were out because they didn't serve very much time. Neither have to register as sex offenders. They don't have to do
Interesting.
that. And yeah, so my great uncle was the superintendent of the school. He was fired. The principal was fired. The football coach, he's still there. Because they're just a really good football program in Ohio that is on Netflix shows all the time because they're so good.
Yeah, it's football. I
Yeah.
think we need to all take a step back and realize that football is not the end all be all in our society the way a lot of people think it is. Especially, I don't give a shit if
I
you're
don't care.
a college team that's really good. Don't cover up. I don't the false sense of entitlement that especially male college athletes feel in situations like this, that they can
Right.
never get caught, they can never get in trouble, is so sick to me. And part of it is because of things like this, where the universities don't do what they're supposed to do. The fact that this
They never
university
do.
tried to cover it up for months to protect their football team, who is
Right.
having one of the best seasons that they've had in a really long time, is as sick can get.
It's really sad because at the same time, just regular kids that go to that university have a hard enough time as it is to report those things, and no one ever takes them
Oh God,
seriously.
yeah.
So, I mean, if you bring up the football team, that would never happen, you know?
Forget it. I mean, you bring up the football team and it's like, good luck. You bring it up at all and it's a struggle. God
Yeah,
forbid it's an athletic organization. Like, it's almost impossible to get any sort of justice done.
yeah,
And
really, really bad
it,
stuff.
it's it's a big wake up call to a lot of people, because men and women, like, it's so hard to report sexual assaults and abuses, things of this nature
Mhm.
as it is. And I feel like a lot of people that defend stuff like this, which, one, gross. You're a terrible person if you do that. Second of all, I feel like you don't understand. You don't understand how
Right.
hard it is for anybody in this country to come forward about this stuff, get the justice done that they deserve, put these
'Cause
people where they belong. Like,
even
it's
if you
not.
come forward about it, there's so much backlash that you are going to get also, and that's a whole different topic on that too, because that's a lot on someone's mental well-being.
It's Yeah, the whole
So,
situation is gross, and I will give the Bills just an ounce of credit for cutting him but that's it. A literal
Right.
ounce, because I feel
Thank
like
you for
even that
removing
might be
him
a little too much.
from the organization. Great, because at least we got that step, which is more than usually happens.
Right,
Because
exactly.
that time and time again.
Hmm. All right. Well, now that we got that out of the way, because that definitely had to be
Right.
talked about. Heavy. It's gross. Grow up.
Something that happened that same day. Uh, Bengals practice.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Swinging helmets, which I think Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a really great football player. Awful. That was awful when he did that, and I'm glad he got suspended because it was deserved. Now,
Yep.
that part is done. Aaron Donald, you also should not swing helmets at people. Like, you had two. You are
He's a large fucking
strongest
human
men
being.
NFL, the scariest, strongest. You literally sacked him to end their Super Bowl. So obviously they were gonna fight. Whoever set up that little practice schedule for the Bengals Rams to be there together, that was a really dumb idea. Who would have ever thought that they would fight at practice? I mean, I'm sure no one thought about that before they scheduled it.
This entire preseason, though, I feel like it's been fights left and right
Yeah.
from every corner of the league. The Patriots and the Panthers, like every single day, they were at each other's throats.
Fighting your own team, fighting
This
the team that's
happened.
there.
My take on this is that it's really stupid that
Yeah.
the NFL as an entity can't hand down discipline for
agree.
this, and this is like a team responsibility. So
They're
if
not
Aaron
gonna do
Donald was going to be
anything.
disciplined, it would be by the Rams organization itself and not the NFL as a whole. And they said that they're not going to, nothing's going to happen.
Right. I mean, why would they do that to their own player? They played the Bills the first game. They're not gonna tell him to sit the bench.
No. But like maybe like dock him, like fine him or something.
Fine. Yeah, sure. I could see doing a fine.
Like at bare minimum. But also the same people that got their panties in a bunch about the Myles Garrett stuff that had a different tone about this.
Yeah, they were making fun of it and laughing at it. It was really weird.
Looking at you, Booger McFarland. Just gonna call it how I see it. You literally said that Myles Garrett deserved to have like charges pressed against him for what he did. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because what he did was really not good. Neither is this. And it should be held to the same standard that Myles Garrett was. Like,
the image
we shouldn't change our tone. Horrifying.
Insane.
I
don't know what I would do. I would say just end it.
That's like if you're like a matador and you've got like a raging bull coming at you. Like I feel like that's a similar feeling to looking at this guy dead in the eye with two in his hand.
Yeah, he had two.
And then you got Sean McVay right here just yelling at him. Like,
what is he gonna do? He's 5'6". I'm sorry, but he can't control that team.
And was it actually Eli Apple that knocked?
I don't know, but
I hope it was.
My least favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eli Apple.
You know.
I think he might still follow me on Twitter. I might try to talk shit about the Bengals real quick someday and see if he unfollows.
Good. Remember when he said that he was going to come on our show and then he ditched us?
He does still follow me. I don't know how I made it this long. We'll see what I can say. I just put a toast picture and add him.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it won't take long and it can't be much.
Right. He was supposed to be a guest on the show, but he ditched us and then
meanwhile he was preparing to play in a Super Bowl, so I get it, but
right, and then they lost.
You ditched us to go get burnt in the Super Bowl. Sorry.
Right. I mean, you had some free time after, but I guess I didn't work there. Oh well.
Whatever.
If we want to do real quick Bengals thing, I don't know if I talked about this last week. The revenge shirts, did I say that?
No.
Okay. So their fans have been posting revenge shirts. Now, anytime someone has ever posted a revenge t-shirt in some form or way, it usually goes very, very poor.
Yeah, usually.
They have a revenge shirt. I guess revenge on the Super Bowl. I don't know if you're ever going to see the Rams again. So,
Or a
revenge
Super Bowl
shirts.
again.
Right.
Hmm.
So, they do have revenge
Interesting.
shirts. I hope it doesn't backfire for them because when the Steelers had their revenge shirts for Big Ben, guess what happened? Hurt. Didn't do very well. Cried on a
Um,
bench. All I gotta say.
oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I when we had this conversation about like what's more likely to happen, and I said I'd be very surprised if the Bengals missed the playoffs. Now with this information, I feel maybe a little
A little
less.
more, yeah,
I
just
would be a little
it might
less
happen.
surprised because like no reason for it.
See, now that you're
Like
talking about that, I screenshotted some odds and I thought it would be good for us to say, which we said last week, but odds to not make the playoffs.
okay,
If people wanted to bet on that, we said last week we don't like the Broncos.
no,
Broncos
I
to
don't.
not make the playoffs is plus 120 on FanDuel Sportsbook. If you guys want to make some money, it's the
Wow.
Broncos.
Okay.
Now, if we're going to go the opposite to make the playoffs, there's one that I do like, and it's New Orleans Saints to make the playoffs at plus 118.
Okay.
I like that one.
Yeah, I could get on board with that.
Now we'll take it a step
I
further.
drafted Michael Thomas in my fantasy league,
I
so
love Michael
hoping he's
Thomas.
got a nice
I
little
love Michael
resurgence. So
Thomas.
I'm on board with this one.
We want to take it a step further with our Broncos to make the playoffs. The Las Vegas Raiders plus 170.
And what was the
So,
Broncos?
to miss the playoffs, plus 120.
Okay. I think I'm coming around on the Raiders.
I like Derek Carr, and I
I think I drafted him. You'd be so proud of me. He's my
You
backup
took Derek
quarterback.
Carr?
I've got Jalen
Well,
Hurts and Derek Carr. I
He
am
might be
growing up.
he might be your starter eventually. Who's to say?
I would just like to point out that where I was when we first started this show a year ago to where I am now on these two quarterbacks specifically, night and day. Night and day.
Right.
I thought both of them sucked. When we first started this show, I thought Derek Carr was like bottom of the barrel, overrated, whatever. Whatever negative thing that you could have possibly said about this guy, I've said it. I've got Jalen Hurts as my starter, Derek Carr as my backup, and I'm all in. I'm all in on these two, which I don't know. Who the hell could have seen that one coming? Not me.
I have another bet. See, I'm just throwing out these bets. This is my last one that I have that I think could make you some money, a decent amount of money, for 12 plus touchdowns regular season. That's Nick Chubb at plus 200. Because if you think about it, you don't know what's going to happen with Kareem. Who's to say he even plays right now because he is whatever he wants to do. You have Jacoby Brissett out there. Maybe just give the ball to Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Score some touchdowns.
Run
Play the
ball.
whole game. Run him the whole time.
Okay.
Then he scores 12
I don't
touchdowns.
hate it. Given the circumstances, I feel like that's definitely attainable. Yeah. Okay. I'm sold. I like it.
Nick Chubb, 12 touchdowns. It's going to happen. He did, however, I do feel bad for him because ESPN put out and it was a fantasy football tier. Like they were doing running backs. And obviously he's not one of the top running backs for fantasy football. Is he one of the top running backs in the NFL? Yes, obviously. Yes. He's very good. But for fantasy football, he shares some reps so they don't put him at the top. And ESPN put it on Instagram, like a little slide through. And if you know the person that's posting it, like you know that's a fantasy football thing, but they didn't put in the caption, nor did they put in the graphic that it was fantasy football, and he shared it on his story because they put him in tier 4. And I'm like, I get it, you know, so that would right. I'm like, but like even for fantasy football, like that would piss me off too if they put me in tier 4. But he
for
thought
sure,
it meant,
but
like, yeah.
Oh, I would have been so mad.
Like the pictures, like Leonard Fournette, and then Nick Chubb in the graphic, like his name.
I would have been.
Yeah, he posted on his Instagram. Funny that he did that, but
yeah.
fantasy football. I just don't think anybody
I hope whoever
realized.
did it was like, "Oh, my bad, dude. Not what we
I
meant."
didn't mean it like that, but okay. If you want to share it, sure.
Oh,
That's what
man.
happened.
Oh, we've got this one. Let's see. This is an interesting story to me because we have talked about this team and their plans for the season and the future a little bit. And the news that broke yesterday made this a little bit more interesting. And that is Jimmy Garoppolo is staying in San Francisco for another season. He's got a no trade clause, full guaranteed.
Right.
It's $6.5 million in the restructure opposed to ridiculous amount of money that he was making. And I was under the impression, as I think a lot of people were, that he was just going to get cut and that's how they were going to go their separate ways, because I seriously did not think they would trade in the division and send him up to Seattle.
They would never do that. I feel like the situation is like people are trying to get divorced. Like put it in that state. So you are like married to someone, but you want to get a divorce, but you don't really want to do it yet because you have some investments.
Yeah, and like you can't agree on who gets what and splitting everything. Yeah.
And it's like if you were getting a divorce for him to like date someone in your family.
Your cousin.
Yeah.
Like
no, you're not going to let that happen because he can't go to Seattle to do that.
My thing with this is this feels a little weird to me if Trey Lance is really their guy, which they continue to say that Trey Lance is the future and we're all in on Trey, blah, blah, blah. I would have cut Jimmy then if that was the case. Seems a little weird to have your former starting quarterback hovering over your new, younger,
you want him to have the confidence, you know? You want him to have the confidence to go into the game ready and be like, I'm the guy. This is my team. I'm going to take over. I have the guy that just took us to the playoffs right behind me, be Aaron Rodgers in the snow.
Yeah, seems a little weird. So with that being said, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be starting games by week 6.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be on the field more than everybody predicted.
And you can go back and look if you don't believe me, but neither of us have been totally sold on the whole Trey Lance project for the 49ers this year.
Is anyone sold on Jimmy Garoppolo? No, but is he better than Trey Lance?
But I have a little bit more confidence in the guy with playoff experience.
Played in a Super Bowl. I mean,
has been to a Super Bowl, studied under, the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, all that good stuff. Got a little bit more confidence in that guy than Trey Lance. And listen, Trey Lance can come out and prove us wrong. And I hope he does.
Would be cool. That'd be good for him.
That'd be awesome. Good for him. Good for the 49ers. Good for their fans. Everything about that would be great. I have no issues with them at all. Especially because I have George Kittle as my starting tight end in fantasy football. Even more reason to want them to succeed.
Over under 5.5 games for Trey Lance starting. I'll go under.
Yeah. I think 5 is it. I think they start the season at best. Oh, let me not say that. Let me pull up the record first before I say that. Or their schedule, I should say.
Right.
49ers. All right, so they open up week 1.
So this is what's going to happen. I see what's going to happen right now. Now that I see who they're playing, he's going to go out there, and it's going to completely mid-game from both QBs, but the 49ers are going to win. So he's going to get hyped up.
Yep.
And then they're going to play the Seahawks, also really freaking bad. Same thing. And then it's going to start to go a little downhill. And then they play Baker Mayfield and beat him.
Ugly. Yeah. You think so?
Beat Baker Mayfield? Yeah.
Yeah.
Their schedule's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I'll say through the first, because we're going to say 5 games. Through the first 5 games of the season, it's either going to be 2-3 or 3-2.
I say 3 wins. 3 is the max.
I would say that game against the Panthers to me would be a toss-up if Trey Lance is starting. If Jimmy G's starting, I'm fully taking the 49ers. But Broncos,
they're
Rams
favored to
back-to-back.
win or even in every game except against the Broncos, which I think that they're better than the Broncos. But again, everybody just freaking loves let's ride.
What is it against the Rams?
Well, I'm just looking on ESPN.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't think even as of right now, I would have Rams favored by at least a field goal in that game. I don't know. But the whole situation feels to me like they are not necessarily as confident in the Trey Lance project after as they originally thought that they were going to be. And, I know if they cut Jimmy, they had to eat a good portion of money and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like that was probably the best option.
They should go after. And this is where it gets a little crazy because, this man is tweeting a lot. Lamar Jackson. Put Lamar Jackson in the NFC, get him out of the AFC, put him somewhere else. Your team is not going to pay you. I don't think the Ravens are going to pay him. I don't think they want to pay him. He wants a lot of money. Yes. Clearly, everybody wants a lot of money, and everybody that gets paid before him gets more money. I think the Jimmy G $6 million pushed him over the edge, and he started liking tweets of him in Miami Dolphins uniforms.
I would hate that.
He's replying to fans. He's replying to fans and say, "Yeah, I grew up. I was like a Cowboys fan, but the Dolphins were second." And he's replying to fans. He's trolling his own fandom. I'm like, I just don't think you should do that, and I don't think that's how it's going to get you paid money. I do like Lamar Jackson a lot, but I think that he's going to have a breakup with the Ravens. I think they have a breakup soon.
Yeah, especially if this is stuff he's doing. I would absolutely hate him on the Miami Dolphins. But
right, for sure.
Interesting, because going from Tua to Lamar.
I think Lamar is so much better than Tua. He's way ahead. I like Lamar though.
I'm still, yeah, but you know how I feel about him is I'm still in that camp where I know he's got the potential and I know I've seen him be really good before, but I've also seen him be really not that great.
Right.
And that kind of scares me into fully buying in. Now, I say that.
Well, if you're a team that's in need of a quarterback now, go after Lamar. I think Lamar is available for teams to get because the Ravens are going to move off him. They're going to get a lot out of Lamar. That's a high value trade.
What's their plan then? If hypothetically they move on,
Tyler Huntley for a year or two and then draft someone good. Yeah.
Well, it also potentially depends on what quarterback is a free agent this year, because there could be some mid quarterback that they don't need to pay that much but can still get the job done, do Joe Flacco 2.0.
They're a big defense team. I know that's not really super exciting, but how they go.
Yeah.
Lamar breakup coming soon.
Don't really think I would like Lamar on the Dolphins / anywhere in the AFC. So if Pete Carroll, for example, wanted to go back to the mobile quarterback,
that could work. That would be really good.
Not sure Geno Smith is going to be. I know that that's not the long-term plan. Let me say that first before I continue. I just don't they know they're going to be bad this year, right? The Seahawks know that they're going to be really bad.
Well,
this year.
Saying Geno is the starter is an insane thing to do, but
it's just admitting defeat already.
Right. So they're going to be bad. Maybe they should add Lamar Jackson. I think my list of teams add Lamar Jackson when the Ravens say we're done with you. 49ers, Hawks, or the Detroit Lions.
Ooh. Now,
my thing with a lot of young guys,
My thing with the Seahawks is if you're going to do that, you need to fix that offensive line because you can't do the same thing with Lamar that you did with Russ and just let him run for his freaking life back there with absolutely zero protection. You can't. That's a recipe for disaster from every which way you look at it. 49ers, I like that idea a lot.
It's not realistic, but I like it.
Yeah. The Lions is interesting.
They're getting so many young guys, so many pieces. Sure, why not?
I think that would be really cool. I mean, who else? What other?
I don't want him in the AFC if he leaves the Ravens.
No, absolutely not.
Get any quarterback you can out of there, because it's oversaturated with elite quarterbacks.
Or if for whatever reason this Mac Jones thing doesn't work out. Not saying that it's not going to. I'm just
that could be cool.
Playing devil's advocate.
Right, that could be. I like that.
What if
Lamar
it doesn't work?
Hey, I want to go to the Patriots.
That would be cool.
You're there. Make some room in the home. I'm coming over.
That would be cool. People are not going to like that. And like I said, I don't think that that's going to happen. I think Mac Jones is going to be around for quite a while. But maybe.
Hey,
Ooh,
last thing
this
I
is
have
an interesting one too.
Oh, the Saints?
This comment. Yeah, with the Saints.
I do like the Saints, but I think Jameis is going to be okay.
I think he's going to be okay too, but I don't think that he's
okay
their long-term plan. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, just any NFC team. Get out of here.
Yeah, any NFC team, AFC. So the last thing I have for us, little college football. There's a game this week, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and I have a problem with it.
Okay.
I have an issue with it. So Ohio State is the number 2 ranked team in the country right now.
Yes.
And Notre Dame is number 5.
Yeah.
The spread for this game is 17 and a half. 17 and a half.
That's a lot.
Your number 2 and your number 5 team should not be that much different. That's why I dislike college football sometimes, because there's teams are going to be good. There's that are really, really good, and the rest are usually just, and then sometimes people sneak a win past them, but you still know that those teams are always the same.
I am admittedly not really like a big college football fan. I don't have a team because I didn't grow up somewhere where college football was huge. Like
I did, and it was a lot.
UConn football freaking sucks in comparison to being from Ohio and having Ohio State. Like it's totally different. So maybe that's why I'm not as into it, but I obviously know enough to survive. This is crazy to me.
17 and a half points.
That's nuts.
I feel like they should be able to cover that.
Yeah, I mean,
but then I also watch teams play, and the score is 54 to 7.
So is it at Ohio State?
Yeah, it's at Ohio State.
Okay. I feel like that obviously adds a couple points to it.
But you're the 5th best team. You're the 5th best team. It should not be more than 10.
20 points worth.
Yeah, 10 I would see,
totally
sure.
agree.
That's my issue with college football, but I will watch it, and I hope it's a good game. I wouldn't be shocked if no one. I wouldn't want to hear it from either sides, though. Both fan bases are the most annoying in college football.
Both fan
bases, and I get it, though.
Psycho.
I get it. You guys win a lot. That's why you talk a lot.
Yeah, I am. I will say excited for Notre Dame team this season just because of the head coach change. I think it's good for the program. Obviously, I think their former head coach is a massive fraud and good football coach, sure, but everything
Fake
else.
Southerner, yes.
But dude, you're from Massachusetts. Get out of here with that.
So funny.
It's just... So yeah, I have high hopes for Notre Dame this year, but starting the season 17 and a half point dogs is not what I expected.
Yeah, no. College football, but maybe that's usually how it is.
Maybe this is going to be the year that I actually get into college football a little more and pay attention more, because now that I live with a man who's into college football, I kind of have no choice. It's TV privilege.
I don't know how I don't know how these people watch these games though that are blowouts every time. there is the
I don't
betting
get
aspect
it.
of it that draws the crowd in. People do
My
love to bet
thing
on
with
college
that
football.
My thing with that is, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I saw Liv post a
Mhm.
TikTok about it, and she was 1,000% right. Is I don't know if I trust a bunch of teenage slash early 20-year-olds
Right.
with any amount of money.
Like when you're betting on March Madness and you're trusting literal 18-year-olds to make free throws.
No, I don't
I
like
don't
it.
trust them. I don't
I
trust
don't think I
myself
like that.
trusting them.
No.
Anyways, I think Ohio State's gonna win the game. I have to say that because if I don't say that, I'll have a bad week somehow. So I think Ohio State's gonna win. I don't know if it's by 18 points, but I have them winning. If you are gonna be partying in Ohio State this weekend, I hope you have so much fun. College game day is gonna be there. Jack Harlow's performing.
God, I'm so
I
sick of
was
this
gonna go
guy.
to a no, I was gonna go to a Columbus game, my first soccer game. I was gonna go. Then I said, that is the same damn time as the Ohio State game. I am not going to Columbus. I am not dealing with it. It'll be another
No,
weekend.
no. Probably not a good idea. However, those games look absolutely lit. The crew
They are fun.
games.
Oh, the crew games?
So
I've never been. They look
yeah,
fun. Ohio State games,
that
though, an experience
I'm
like no other.
sure. I've never been to a legit college football game. I feel like I'm missing out. But
I'll give
USC
you
is supposed to be really good this year, and they are right down the road. I think we
right.
might go to a game or two.
I feel like that college experience is a lot different than like a
Yeah,
Midwest college football game.
nothing compares, in my opinion, to like a winter freezing cold Big Ten game. Like I feel like
Mhm.
that's where you get the
Yeah.
legit college football experience, or like a Bama LSU or like
Mhm.
an Iron Bowl
Like an
Iron Bowl
SEC
game.
game.
Like
Yeah. I
an
went.
SEC rivalry game
I'll
is
just
up
give you
there for me.
a summary of how a weekend at Ohio State goes. I did not go there, but I've been to many games. So let's just say you get there. You're playing Penn State. This is exactly
Mhm.
what happened. You're playing Penn State.
Okay.
You get there the night before. You wake up at 5:30 in the morning. You get to your friend's house at 6:30. You start taking shots as soon as you get there. You get the game's at what time's the game's at 12. So you get there at 6:30. You start drinking. You're eating breakfast. People are making pancakes, eggs, everything. Then you leave from the house and you walk down to like the bars. You stop at a bar real quick, take some shots there, walk to the game. You tailgate with some people. Um, Sometimes along the way, you stop at one of the frats for their parties. Go into the game. You go to the student section. Sometimes you stay the whole game. Sometimes you're not staying. Depends on who you're playing.
Giving
And
me
then guess what you do after that?
PTSD.
Bar.
Drink
Another
more.
bar. You keep going. And then you get home
You do that Lady
6 a.m.
Gaga thing.
You go 6 a.m. the next day. Like you're at the casino at one point of the night. You leave to go to the
No.
bars. You go to the strip
No.
club. And you go home. Bam.
Oh my
Whole
God.
24 hours of college football.
Okay. So
Yeah.
my freshman year of college, I went to Coastal Carolina, and that was before their football team was as good
Yeah.
and known as it is now. And I thought those tailgate days were crazy. Holy shit. I don't think I would have survived like a Big Ten school.
I
I don't
wouldn't
think
have.
I would have
No
done it.
way. No shot. I will say though, the
No.
Browns tailgates in the Muni lot are just as crazy.
I'm very excited to experience one.
Like they're super fun. You know, if you lose always, what else do you have to do? That's party. All right. Drink. Yeah. It's
Very
fun.
excited for my first muni law experience come October. A little scared.
No, it's not scary.
But
Fun. It's not scary. It's really fun. And I will say I've been to those tailgates and they are very fun and they were awesome. And they are a different kind of tailgate than you go to the Browns ones. But like the Cleveland Browns tailgates, top tier. You have DJ
Awesome.
booths everywhere. You have
No
games
way.
everywhere. You have the most outrageous people you ever see. So,
Oh, I can't wait.
fun.
Can't wait. Well, with that being said, I feel like we've covered everything. Hopefully, by next week, we have some new stuff to share with you guys. We've
Right.
got some stuff in the works for the season. Also, next week is our official 1-year episode, which is pretty cool. Doing this shit for a year, and you
whole
guys
year.
come back week after week, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, next week is our first, real football episode. We're gonna get back with picks. I know how much you guys all love those.
Right. We'll give you. We have a giveaway coming up.
Yes.
Jersey giveaway. Look out for that. Tell your friends, and we'll be back with some more contests.
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait. Football season is back. We have made it, people. And with that being said,
yeah,
we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next. See ya.